So this morning I'm finishing the cards for Project Life 2013, and I'm creating these within my Silhouette Studio. The first one is going to be a print and cut page. So what I've done is I've set my page to 8.5 by 11, since that's the size paper that my printer will print. What I did to get these is I created a couple of rectangles using this tool right here, draw a round rectangle, and I made them 3 inches wide by 4 inches tall, which is the size for the Project Life slot sleeves. So to get the pictures in here, what I did was I went into my library and I hit File, Import to my library. And I imported these 3 pictures right here into my library. So then when I went back to my sheet, I was able to just insert those photos into there perfectly, so now I can print those and cut them. I also wrote up this little file here. I really couldn't find a quote that I liked, so I just kind of made up a little phrase that I liked that I thought would really describe what the purpose of this album is for this year. And then right here, this is actually a piece from Echo Park, This and That Graceful, and I thought it would be cute on top of one of the little cards that are there that I already have printed. So it's just going to label, let's see here, let's bring to front. It'll be on top of one of my journaling cards, kind of like that. All right, so that's the print page that I've made, and if I click on this line, open the cut style window, you'll see where the big red lines is where it's going to cut. So everything will be print out first by hitting this button, then I'll move it to my Silhouette Cameo, and everything will be cut out with this button. Now on this other page, what I've done is I've moved everything to its own little location. I'm going to print out 2013 with some of the dark brown paper from the This and That collection, Graceful, and then these also have another paper pack that I'm cutting those from, and then the H is coming from the, it's like a fuchsia background. So I'll show how I lay those out on the mat, and then we'll cut everything out and finish putting these cards together. Now I've typed some letters into Microsoft Word, and these I'm going to print on top of some of that craft paper, that packing paper that came in with some of my Joann shipments over the years. I have so much of that stuff and I've been saving it. So what I've done is I've cut some of it into sheets of 8.5 by 11, and I'll just feed it with my rear paper tray in my Canon printer and go ahead and print these out. These I spaced because I want to make sure to cut these out individually. So these will be individual strips. This here will be an actual word grouped together, as well as these. So that's what I'll print out and cut out now. So here really quickly, I'm just showing you how I loaded my mat for that cut file. The 2013 will go right here. What I do is I use the crosshairs on my mat to find out the location of where the top and bottom of each cut is, and I cut my paper to be slightly larger than that area. So then all I do is I match it by looking at the computer screen and putting each sheet of paper exactly where the cuts are. So this is where the 2013 is, this is the first set of hearts, the second set of hearts, and this is for the letter H. Well, here's a quick overview of it all finished. So this card up here has the letter H, and I used some corrugated cardboard, inked the edges, printed out this word here. I used some burlap. Now to keep the shape on the burlap, what I do is I use golden matte medium, and I spread it all over it and let it dry so that it stiffens. And so then you have this nice hard one that stays together. And then I just layered some hearts together that I had cut out.
And so 2013 was cut out with the silhouette. I also layered it up here. You can see how stiff that multi-matte medium makes the what is this called? The burlap. So it's really nice and stiff and holds its texture really nicely. And then I used my sewing machine and just created a couple of lines of stitching here. This one here, I stitched down the middle, as well as I stitched down the middle of that word right there as well. And then here I did the girls' names and just cut out a banner. This I just printed on that craft paper and just added a simple staple on those so that I don't take away from their picture. And the photos came out really well. These photos are actually printed on the Copic Express It paper, and they still come out really good. So if you're in a bind and you haven't gone to Walgreens, or I couldn't leave the house today because my daughter has an ear infection, so the pictures come out fine if you just print it on a really nice quality cardstock, like something you would color with your Copic markers. And then this one was really fun. It's a layered heart, so there's 4 different layers of hearts. I stitched it. I started my stitch here and I went off the page, and then I also just glued down another journaling word there. This was really simple. This brad already came in a pack by This and That Graceful Echo Park. I printed and cut this one off on my silhouette, and then I printed these and chopped those little letters up, and again a little bit more burlap right there. And then the last one, my husband and I did the same thing. I typed out a little phrase here, used a nestability die, made a little ticket, inked the edges. I think that's with Broken China. This is another brad that came in that set, and then just a picture of myself and my husband, again backed up with a little bit of that burlap. So that's the overall picture of my cover for 2013. So far I have kept up with my photos every day. So now I can finally start working on week 1. Thanks for watching.